Hello everyone, my name is Techno, and today I'd like to make this video slightly different because in my previous videos, in my previous episodes, I've been discussing about AWS from my own perspective. But I'd like to do something different and bring on a new perspective coming from a cloud support engineer from the Mexico site. This cloud support engineer has recently onboarded with AWS and has been with AWS for about 4 weeks. So without further ado, I'd like to give you a warm welcome to Carolina, a cloud support engineer from the Mexico site.
Hello, I'm Carolina Flores. I work as cloud support engineer at the team of analytics here in AWS. I was born in Tlaxcala, the smallest state of Mexico. I now live in the country's capital. My career started in web development. Later, I studied for a master's degree when I learned about big data and machine learning. Before joining AWS, I worked in few companies on data projects, training machine learning models and creating dashboards to help with smart decisions making. I started programming at 15 years old when I discovered a passion for technology.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your new hire experience?
Yes, everyone makes you feel welcome and you feel like part of the team from day one. You meet many people with different backgrounds and experience levels. But US, your manager and your team supports to keep learning and take action for that.
Since you onboarded to AWS, did you have any kind of mentors available to you?
Yes, I was assigned an onboarding buddy, a mentor from the analytics team, who guided me through all these steps in the onboarding process and helped me to understand the day-to-day work at AWS.
And how would you define your mentor? Like, is your mentor there with you all the time, or are they just there on day one and only day one?
Yes, you have like all the time the contact in Slack for any question that you need to solve, any problem that you have here in the office, or any doubt that you have. We have one-to-one meetings to talk about how I feel in the first days, in the first weeks here in AWS, and just to understand how is the goals in each week. For example, I need to learn about a service, so if I have a technical doubt, I can ask to my mentor. The boarding body is for where I can save my lunch or things like that.
Okay, so it sounds to me that your mentor is pretty available for you at any point in time where you have questions or anything similar to that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, awesome. How would you define the learning pace over here at AWS? And did you have experience with AWS?
Well, I have some experience using AWS service like Redshift, S3, Group Jobs, visualization tools, but only in a general way. Now I have the opportunity to learn more technical stuff. And yes, the pace of learning at AWS is just right. Sometimes it feels like you are in a rush, maybe, but the complexity of the case is always taken into consideration. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can always ask for help. Everyone is willing to support you.
Awesome. Even though you might have obstacles in the way, you have all the resources you need to continue learning. As a follow-up question to that, what are your shift hours like over here at AWS?
Yes, the common work times are from 8 to 5 p.m. All days are in the office initially, but once you have more experience, you will have the opportunity to work in a hybrid model. But now I feel so comfortable here in the office. The office has many facilities. We have focus rooms where you can work with distractions. The office offer coffee discounts and the cafeteria, ergonomic chairs and standing desk. So that is super cool for work.
Okay.
And also we have benefits, including support with the transportation from home to work.
Over at AWS, there's a lot of different opportunities for you. And not only do you get mentorship, you're able to train and have all the resources you need for training, You also have really cool perks and benefits with traveling and all of that, right? With transportation. So with all of that combined together, what's your overall opinion on AWS culture?
AWS culture is fantastic. All the people have a cool energy that makes you feel as part of a team. I have the opportunity to attend a training in Mexico City, which was an amazing experience. AWS has different programs, talks, and workshops for empower female engineers to be successful, which is fantastic to see here in Mexico. I always try to motivate women who likes science and technology to follow their dreams. Yes, AWS gives the opportunity to grow. You are responsible for your own growth. Mm-hmm. You have a mentor, a manager, course, all the information that you need to grow and develop your skills. It is a supportive environment that motivates personal and professional development, and you don't need to compete with anyone but yourself.
One of the coolest thing that you mentioned was just how you are responsible for your own promotion. And that's basically one of AWS's core leadership principles, which is ownership. And if you want that promotion, you have all the resources you need, you have all the people to reach out to. You're always going to be ready for that next step, and AWS is there for you.
We have another principle that is bias for action. So it's learn and be curious also. So yes, we have all the ownership that we need.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to explain all about your experience here at AWS. If you had one thing that you wanted to share with the audience, what would that one thing be?
I think overall, my experience here at AWS was been incredible so far. I love all the energy in the workplace and with the people that you have side by side. For example, your manager, your mentor, your peers, and all the opportunities to grow are truly amazing. You have all the benefits you need to prosper. If you are someone who is interested in joining AWS, but you think you don't have the experience and you need to try.
Carolina, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us here at AWS. I know that there's definitely a lot to learn and that you're going to have an awesome experience at AWS.
Yes, thank you to you for the opportunity to talk and share my experience. It was a pleasure to meet you. Hasta luego.
First of all, I'd like to give a really big shout out to Carolina for taking the time to explain her experiences here at AWS. So to recap everything all together, when you start on day one, you're going to be assigned an onboarding buddy. You have a mentor who's going to be able to walk you through on your journey here at AWS at all steps of your path. On top of that, your manager is going to be here to help you and to support you on your growth at AWS as well. Professional growth is always going to be encouraged. So no matter what you try to do, whether that's promoting to the next level or moving to a different team, you'll have all the resources that you need and the support that you need in order to get there. I think ultimately Carolina's experience and insights gives us a well-rounded view on what to expect when it comes to onboarding at AWS. And no matter what part of the world you're located in, you'll be able to have the same threads of opportunity and support from your mentor, your peers, your manager, and most importantly, your own professional growth at AWS. As a final note, if you're ever curious about AWS culture, or maybe you're curious about different roles at AWS, or maybe you need interview tips, feel free to join AWS's Talent Network, which allows you to do that. And I'll go ahead and include it in the descriptions down below. So with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And by the way, if you do subscribe, you'll be notified of when I release the next episode, where I'll be bringing in more guests, more different kind of topics to discuss about, and you don't want to miss out on that. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.